University Court representatives, my Arab peers. My name is Mohammed Hamza Khawti, and I want to thank you today for devoting your time to listen to my and assist to my presentation. I want to also thank Harvard University for giving me the chance to present here, because as many of my Arab peers have said before, I wouldn't have that like a month ago or just a couple of weeks ago. So back in my country, deaf and mute people, they face a daily issue and a daily hurdles in their daily life. One of the biggest of these issues is the issue of education. In my country, deaf and mute people, they don't have access to public education. They can go to school. Can you imagine how people don't have access to public education in this time? They're normal people. They can actually be effective and fruitful to the nation, but they don't have access to public education. So my project will target educating and affording education for deaf and mute people. In my community, I will just start in my city. I'm working with this association. It's been a couple months now. We have only one class. It's actually in the backyard of an actual school for normal kids. They gave us one class, which is not actually a class. It was like a garbage room to study, to teach 40 students there, or maybe more, for 40 to 50 students. So the main objective of the project is affording education to these students. And the first step in this project, because the project is going to be divided in two phases. The first phase, we're going to hire a full-time teacher, because we don't have a full-time teacher. We have just some volunteers. For example, we have a mother of a student who started actually learning how to teach, and she paid for herself, and she went to France to go for a training and teach herself how to teach deaf and mute people, and she came back to teach those kids. So first of all, we need to hire a full-time teacher who's going to devote himself to teaching these kids and making them realize the importance of their importance in their community. The second thing, we want to also build another facility, which is going to be a class, because actually we've talked to the community, we've talked to the school. They're going to give us an extra space to build another class there. So we're going to divide the two groups into into two people. So we're going to try our best to divide them into groups of 20 people. So they would have access to better education, because 40 people in one small class in a room smaller than this I wouldn't call it education. So that as the first step. The second step, we want to also buy a school bus, because most of the students, they live in rural areas. They're from the city. They cannot commute every day, and they come from poor families, and their families, they cannot afford to bring them on a daily basis to the school. So we want to buy a school bus, and that's on a long term. So the first step is going to be on maybe 2 or 3 years, so we could get recognition from the government, from the people, from the community around us as a first step. Then we want to buy a school bus, and maybe if we get money and through fundraising events and alliances with many local businesses, because I live in a city and with there many rich people. I live in a city of tourism. There are a lot of rich people who can devote themselves and who can give their money. So we want to, first of all, just get the recognition as a first step. We want to say that we can do something for these people and get the attention of our community to the project. And the activities that we're going to be providing for the students are going to be classes from 9 to 1 with 2 breaks and 1 meal per day, because most of these students, they cannot afford to pay for themselves or go and buy food. So we're going to also provide some fun activities, because these people, they're going to be from a range of age from 6 to 12 years old. So they're basically kids, they want to play. So we're going to provide some fun activities and games for these people, for these students. We want to also provide some trips and travels on a monthly basis, and field trips. They take them to show them the monumental histories, historical monuments in the city, and in the natural landscapes around the city. And we want to also organize some regular holidays and events, like in national holidays and also religious holidays. with the families and with people from the community, so we can get them recognized and we get them integrate into the community. So basically, we're gonna get the funding that we need is actually, as a first step, we need $5,000 to pay the teacher, to build another facility, to buy equipment for the classes. And I think that I see that happening because I have many alliances with local businesses and people in my community that cannot actually afford this amount of money for the project.